Hello, I don't have a lot to update you on this week, but I do have some progress on some things and a new thing on the big loom. So it's been a bit of a brain week and I've also been a bit busy, and I've been playing a lot of Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, which came out 22 years ago. So definitely got my finger on the gaming pulse there. But what I do have is some progress on this, although I appreciate it looks much like it did last week. I promise you there is progress. I'm about halfway through, and I can tell that because this is the middle patch of colour. So I've done a stretch of black. I'm showing you that like you can see it. You can't. It's wrapped up in the front beam here. So last week I was working on the first colour patch, which is at one end of the scarf. Then I've done a stretch of black, which you can't see, but it looks a bit like this, but woven. So I'm on the middle colour patch now, so I'm a little bit over halfway. I don't know how long this is. It's not a difficult weave, it's just got dog hair in it, like everything else in my life, and that has remained. There we go. It's not a difficult weave, it's just a very long scarf. So yes, it is carrying on. And look, in the natural light you can see there's actually a little bit of purple in there, which I hadn't noticed before. That's nice. Anyway, irrelevant. So this, I was going to say should be off the loom for next week, but I don't like to promise things like that because I don't know. I don't know if this will be off the loom for next week. I would hope that it is because it's been on the loom for a long time. But just to say, I am still working on that. It does look much the same as last week, but there is more on the front beam there. Now, on the big loom, I have something that I warped up Monday, I think, and started weaving yesterday. So as usual, not a ton of progress on it, but I'll show you what it looks like. This is how the big loom is looking, and I don't know what it's going to be because I didn't do any maths. What I did was order 2 balls of yarn that I thought would look good together on the loom, and they do, so I'm happy. That's all I really wanted to do. I don't know if it's going to be long enough to be a wrap. It might be a shawl, or it might be a table runner, or it might end up being a piece of fabric that I do something else with later. I don't know, because I simply don't know how long it's going to be. We will find out next week, hopefully. So the yarn here is Bendigo Wool and Mills, obviously, of course. This is their multicoloured sock yarn. This on the shuttle here, which I'm using for the weft, is Oriental Flowers. Get that in shot properly. No, out of the light, never mind. So that's Oriental Flowers, and you can see there that it sort of starts a bit green, but I've wound that on, and then shifts into these sort of orange and reds, and then into more blues and purples at the other end. So I've got another half a ball of this to put on the shuttle when I've finished with this shuttle. And the warp is Bendigo Wool and Mills multicoloured sock yarn in the colourway Caramel Toffee, which is not as yellow as I was hoping. I don't know if you can see against the white there. It is a bit yellow. There are some yellow patches in there. The multicoloured yarns like this from Bendigo Wool and Mills are not a self-striping, so they never repeat. So you don't end up with like a stripe effect in your warp, and you don't end up with a stripe in your weft, which is kind of why I like them. I like a stripe effect. I like not having a stripe effect. I'm very easygoing on my stripes. So yes, this is what's on the loom. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's definitely a thing. It definitely exists. Look at that. It's just a plain weave. I saw these on the website, thought they'd look nice woven together, and thought I'd give that a go. I can't actually remember where I was up to with the crochet last week. I meant to have a look and I forgot because I am disorganised. But I'm up to the round now where I'm using 5 stitches across for the top of the pyramid. So after this round, and I've only just done a little bit of it, I think I probably have, I think I've done 3 repeats and I've got, this many more to do. I didn't count. And then it'll be 3 stitches and then 1 stitch, and that will form that triangle shape. And these clusters will form, they're not clusters, they're V-stitches, but these V-stitches will form, I have been calling it an inverse triangle, but it is actually going to be more like a slightly off-kilter diamond shape. But that is coming along. It's coming along a lot quicker than I was expecting it to. This outer edge is a lot of fun to crochet. I mean, all of this has been, and I've got to put sleeves on it, obviously, hello. But it's coming along really well. I should have the bodice piece. I don't need you, Wind, thank you. I should have the bodice piece, which is this piece, finished for next week. I won't have the sleeves finished for next week. But I am at the point of realising that I have over-purchased yarn for this considerably. So I bought 8 balls of this yarn. So far I've used 2 3/4. So I'm using the last of the 3rd ball for this round, and then I will probably use 1 ball for both sleeves. So I'm lucky it's going to look good on the loom. And I think my thinking behind that, I'm justifying an excessive yarn purchase, once again, to myself and to the world, was that because Hobie yarn, this is Hobie Silly Socks in Happy Clown. Happy Clown is the colourway. I thought because they're in Denmark, I didn't want to get to the point where I had run out of yarn and then had to wait for more to come. So it was a very, very good, sound financial decision to buy 8 balls of this yarn. I think I'm going to have at least 4 left, probably 4 and then a leftover. So I don't know what I'll do with that. I will probably weave it at some point. I've got so much yarn. I've got so much yarn. I said the other day I was going to just use from the stash, but that never works because sometimes yarn is very pretty and it needs to come and live with me. But that is all I have for you this week. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next week, hopefully with this bodice. Now that I've promised you I have to get it done, maybe that off the loom. I'm pointing over there. You can't see it, but that's where the little loom is sitting. And whatever's happening with the big loom will continue to be happening. Probably. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. I'm so sorry. I wish I did. You take care of yourself. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.